G'day folks, Duckville here bringing you a user-submitted replay. Thank you very much to Fairy Hell on Twitter for sending this one through. Had a quick chat about some of the, people sending through replays, and Fairy Hell decided to send through this one. This is Fairy over here, named Nelly. I'm not sure what the difference is with the names, but whatever, that's all good. We're not here to talk about names. This isn't a baby naming convention or something like that, I don't know, but he's going to be the blue Protoss over here at the 3 o'clock position on Shattered Temple. His opponent is going to be over here, Kristoffer, at the 9 o'clock as the red Terran. So we'll see what's going to happen here. I believe that that Nelly, we'll just go with Nelly, is sort of high plat or diamond. I couldn't actually remember exactly, but we'll see what happens here. We're going to have a look at exactly how Nelly goes about the particular build here against this Terran, and just perhaps if we can help out with analyzing anything, we'll love to do that sort of stuff as well. So of course, recently haven't actually been doing too many casts, unfortunately, with the troubles with the copyright problems with YouTube. It's been a bit slow on getting things done, but obviously we're back up and running now. I'm going to try and crank out a whole bunch of casts for you guys. We've got some really cool ones in the queue from a particular high-level Protoss player from the Korean server. But of course, if you do have your own replays and you do want to get them casted, whether it be for some analysis and a little bit of perhaps some coaching, send me a replay and say have a look at this one, cast it, put it on YouTube, and tell me what I did wrong, and we'll do that kind of stuff. And of course, if it's just an awesome game that you've found, whether it's you or if it's someone that you've found on a replay website, please do send it through, and I'll try and get them up as soon as I can. But obviously we can see here that Nelly has scouted out the Terran opponent currently over here at 9, got a gas up and running this probe. It did a little bit of harassment. We can see one of the SCVs somewhere. There it is, that guy that was just there was a little bit damaged, but some brilliant probe usage here to keep this one alive. Just back at base though, we do have both gas are actually up and running before the cybernetics core was down. What does this mean? If you're a Terran, you are going to need to be watching out for DTs, and of course some types of play with Stargates. Of course, you can get some particular builds that actually take up a lot of gas like that. In fact, only mining out of one of the gas, a little bit interesting. Perhaps just making sure that the Terran opponent isn't able to steal the gas. I'm not exactly sure what was going on here, but as we can see, probe sitting in the middle of the map at the moment, controlling that Zelnaga watchtower, has scouted out that the gas is there. We got a Rax and the orbital on the way, which means that nothing too fancy will be coming through from the Terran just as of yet. Meanwhile, Kristoffer just finally scouting out, just is about to enter the Protoss base. This is the interesting thing about getting a late scout on a Protoss opponent who does these double gas builds. You can see the two gas, but it's kind of a standard thing to see them at this point. Now, what you can do if you really want to be super safe with everything that you're doing, check how much gas is actually inside, how much is remaining, and then compare it to your own, and you can actually check out exactly how much gas is there and of course isn't there. So it can really help out with detecting exactly what your opponent's going to do. But this SCV isn't going to see much because this is very standard for the moment here. However, just down at the gold base here, it looks as if Nelly's going to chuck down a Stargate, a proxy Stargate in a very interesting spot. I'm not sure why it's so far away, but it certainly is not going to get detected by the Terran anytime soon. Unfortunately, blocking in that probe, a little bit of an unfortunate mistake there, but either way, it's not going to affect too much. Meanwhile, Kristoffer's still sitting on that one gas. Of course, looks as if we're going to get a 2 Rax expand, I would say, from the looks of it, with the stim, the concussive shell done already. Of course, that concussive expo build that you can do looks to be in effect here. And stim is just about going through as well, about a third done, as we can see here on that tech lab. Now, just having a look at the forces that are here, we've only got 3 Marines. The 4 Marauders are, of course, fantastic against those early gateway units, of course, doing the extra damage to the Stalkers that come out. And then, of course, you can kite all day, every day against Zealots. So we'll see what exactly Kristoffer's going to do here. This probe is just getting its exercise done for the day, or perhaps it's actually on a treadmill empowering that Stargate. But the Stargate is cranking out a Void Ray. We have a pylon just being placed here by Nelly, which does give a little bit of reach up to the ramp. And the thing is going to be here, the thing that's probably going to happen here is that the Void Ray is going to come out, give the vision on the high ground, and allow some warp-ins to occur here. Now, this is something which is a great build to use against a Terran. In fact, it's even better if you're against an opponent opponent who has a wall at their front ramp. But of course, in this particular case, we're not going to be faced with that. Engineering bay going up, the second gas finally from Kristoffer there, and it looks as if we're going to sit on these two racks for the moment here. I'm not actually sure if that's going to be enough. It looks as if we've got a couple of stalkers just actually coming in there, and one of them getting caught out. In fact, the Marauders just they've done their duty for the day. They put a bit of damage onto that stalker, and it's gonna be afraid next time it comes in. It's gonna be afraid, but because look at him, he's got a little bit of health taken off, lost all of his shields, but regenning that now as they do. So stim now done. The interesting part of what is going to happen here will be if enough Marines can get out to actually stop these Void Rays. It looks as if we've got one here already. A couple of Zealots warping in at the top of the ramp. Meanwhile, back at base, Nelly expanding out to the natural here. Still only sitting on those 2 gates for the moment, but these the Zealots are already out. They're going to do a lot of damage here, denying that factory. Looks as if we are going to get that tech lab taken down as well. Void Ray fully powering up. Meanwhile, at the front of the base here, it looks as if a few of these Stalkers will be taken down, and perhaps this Void Ray as well. There are still 4 Marines out. One of them about to go down. No, the Void Ray, for some reason, switching targets. This one Marine is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. He's only got 3 health left. Looks as if the forces inside the base are still going to be doing a lot of damage, though. We've got 4 Zealots out, 2 Void Rays now in the mix. Keep in mind that there are only a couple of Marines here. These guys are going to die very quickly. In fact, the Void Rays could probably just deal with them. Forget about the Zealots doing the job. But here we go. The Zealots now running inside the mineral line. In fact, there is one more Marine that's going to do some damage here. Not really too much, of course. The Zealots will be happy to slice and dice against that guy, and there you see him actually falling apart. Void Ray is doing massive amounts of damage here, denying one of the racks, and it looks as if this one, despite being very, very close to complete, is going to go down, and we can see that Kristoffer is in a lot of trouble. We can see the orbital command now heading down to the natural expansion, which is protected by a lot of these Marauders. Of course, the Zealots doing extra damage there to the Marauders, and as we can see there, bit of blood on the floor there, but the Marauders were able to hold off for the moment. But the Void Rays are still in the sky, and unfortunately, despite their really awesome little grenade launcher thingy, the Marauders can't actually shoot up in the sky. Not sure what this probe is up to, but I think this is pretty much in the bag for Nelly, doing so much damage with this initial attack, and realistically nothing to stop these Void Rays. This one turret will do what it can, but these racks are definitely not going to complete. As we can see here, one of them is about to explode. The Void Rays, meanwhile, are also about to explode. No, they're actually going to survive for the moment, but these racks are going to get cancelled. There you go, and we're going to have 1 racks left over for Kristoffer. No real production capabilities at the moment. There is one here, but it's not getting used. A little bit unfortunate there. SCVs being picked off by the 2 Void Rays at the back of the natural expansion, and this is going to end very, very soon. I can see from simply from the fact that Kristoffer, it looks as if it's just had an unfortunate situation, has just panicked a little bit. Did have this 1 Rax, which could have helped out a tiny bit perhaps, but there is just way too much for him to deal with now. 4 Void Rays out, 2 of them actually sitting over to the side, but Nelly is actually just sitting back and actually just doing a little bit of probe production here. We can see the 2 probes at a time going. We've got 3 gates on the way, and that is going to be the end of Kristoffer. Unfortunately, no way to deal with the Void Rays there. The turret's a little bit out of range. Unfortunately, they're not turret crawlers. They're not going to be able to crawl around and reposition themselves. The extra 2 Void Rays now inside the main. Finishing off that 1 remaining Rax, 1 Marine coming out and going to have a hell of a party to join, because he's going to have no way of dealing with the Void Rays, and that is pretty much it. I'm just sort of waiting for that GG from Kristoffer. More Void Rays on the way. Probes still being produced here. Great work with that, with the macro there from Nelly. Perhaps need to keep it up just a little bit more. We do need to see a couple of pylons going down as well. Here they are. In fact, this probe's having fun. He's just putting down pylons wherever he wants. He doesn't care. But of course, the orbital command still just doing a bit of a dance here. We had one of them actually moving over to the side, and another one over here as well. And here we go, probably that final push coming in here from Nelly. A couple of Zealots on the ground doing what they can, and that is going to be it. There is a GG from Kristoffer. So great little game there. Nice little proxy play from Nelly. Good to see that sort of thing from time to time. You can't use it all the time, of course, because there are certain builds which will deal with it quite efficiently. But a little bit unfortunate for Kristoffer not actually getting out enough Marines. But we can see there the power of the Void Rays in an early attack when they're undetected. So hope you guys enjoyed that one. Once again, thank you very much to at FairyHell on Twitter. You can catch him there and ask him about the game or any other types of things. As we said, if you want someone to practice with, just send all these sorts of people messages on Twitter. It's always a great way to connect with other StarCrafters and hook up and get some practice going. All right, well, hope you guys enjoyed that. As before, make sure you send through some more replays to me at you can send it through to my Gmail, duckphilol@gmail.com. Cheers.